Grand Rising, dear family. I want to see if I can hyper decolonize this passage right in front of you. This is a reading from Genesis chapter 1. This time it's going to be from verses 1 all the way to verse 19. And I'll stop there. I'm going to hyper decolonize each and every one of them. This video is going to be titled The Way I Perceive the Big Bang. Before I begin reading, I'm going to say this real quick. My entire spiritual infrastructure is based around 4 things. The fact that our reality is governed by a positive energy, a negative energy, a balanced energy, and a dead energy. That's what I believe in. I believe that our reality is governed by those 4 styles of energy. Now, the Big Bang Theory. I want to talk about that for a moment before I begin reading this passage, and also label and describe how my 4 energies, or 4 energy styles coexist with this here story. Now, the Big Bang Theory of this world says that there was a condensed ball of antimatter, right? It says that there was a condensed, there was just a random condensed ball of antimatter that was compressed and compact together, and then boom, it just exploded, and then voila, the universe. That's the story of the Big Bang. Yeah. So I want to take that story and I want to apply it to my story, to where it can make more sense, as to labeling and describing how all of this can make more sense. Do I believe in the Big Bang Theory the way it's depicted, the way we're told it? No. But as far as the concept behind it, I'm going to take something from it and I'm going to talk about it. So check it. In the beginning, those 4 energies were only 2. I'm just going to hypersimplify the way I see the Big Bang Theory. I'm going to hypersimplify it. The way I see it, in the beginning, those 4 energies were only 2 energies. It was only 2. The positive one and the negative one. Now, keep these words in mind before I go in. Etherical energy reactions. Etherical energy reactions, or etherical energetic reactions, or EERs. Keep that word in mind as I get ready to go in, because I just want to hyper simplify it and then hyper decolonize Genesis chapter 1 verse 1 through 19. Check it out. So here's how I see the whole Big Bang Theory in a hyper simplified viewpoint. So in the beginning, the negative energy and the positive energy were completely separate from one another. The negative energy in its original state, or in its original form, like a spiritual essence, so to speak. It was a cosmic-sized cloud, a cosmic-sized red cloud of fire and lightning. Negative energy. Once again, a cosmic-sized gas cloud of fire and lightning was what the negative energy was, according to how I perceive the story. Now, the positive energy, a nirvanic-sized, or bigger than cosmic sized sphere of blue water and light. The positive energy. Once again, a cosmic size sphere, or a nirvanic size, meaning bigger than cosmic, nirvanic size sphere of blue water and light. The negative energy, as always, makes the first move, attacks the positive energy, begins to consume, destroy, and devour, as it always does. But then right here, Malcolm X parable comes into play. Why do I say Malcolm X parable? Because Genesis chapter 50, verse 20, take what the enemy meant for evil and turn it for good. How do I use Malcolm X as an example for that parable? Because Malcolm X was the first one to take or to say what the enemy called us and say that it was beautiful. Remember, the enemy called us blacks, right? The enemy's body called us blacks. Malcolm X said, black is beautiful. And everybody just rolled with it. Took what the enemy meant for evil and turned it for good. Malcolm X did that. That is one of the natural traits of the true God, which art in heaven, which I'm going to keep on going on and talking to you about right now. It is pure positive energy. So check it. The negative energy devours and consumes the positive energy, down to that, what the Big Bang Theory called it, the antimatter ball. But then here, the positive energy pulled a Malcolm X move, took what the enemy meant for evil and turned it for good. Heaven, or the universe, or the cosmos, or the explosion that gave birth to elements like etherical energy. In other words, the universe, according to my theory, just mine personally, according to my theory personally, the cosmos was created due to the reaction of negative and positive energy colliding. Negative energy collided with positive energy, in which caused a reaction, a chain reaction that gave birth to the literal universe we live in itself. Just my opinion. It helps it make more sense to me. And from thence on forth, more reactions of energies kept happening and transpiring. Energy reactions and energy reactions and energetic reactions after energetic reactions happened left and right, which gave birth to more things, which is what I'm about to personally use to possibly decolonize and or hyper decolonize this Bible here, using my level of discernment with the knowledge of these energies, the positive, negative, and now neutral and dead viewpoints. This makes sense to you thus far. So, now let's begin to read. With all I just said about how the universe was spawned due to negative energy, due to positive energy reacting for what negative energy did to it, was doing to it. Positive energy reacted to what negative energy did and gave birth to the universe we live in today. Positive energy reacted to the corruption and or darkness of negative energy and gave birth to the universe we are in today. This is just my personal theory. You can believe whatever you like. T.I. voice, right? Moving forward. So, I'm going to read Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 through 19. And then I'm going to decolonize all of them right in front of you. At least I'm going to do my best, right? Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. It says, in the beginning, God. When you look up the word God, according to the information of this word, it says that he is, or it is, the source of all moral authority. Yeah? The creator of the universe, the creator of the stars and of the galaxies. And once again, the source of all moral authority. I like that. Moving forward, it says, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Created the heaven and the earth. Did it happen simultaneously? No. It took a long time, as in, according to what the Nation of Islam has put out here. I took some of those words and add them to the foundation of knowledge that I stem my speeches from. 72 trillion years in order for this process to really take place. But according to what I'm studying here, after those 72 trillion years of the universe's foundation being structured, the planet was only made in a day. I'll tell you in a second. Now it says, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. The earth was not created simultaneously with the universe, long story short. Heaven is the literal cosmos itself. I just labeled and described how I see heaven's formation playing out. Positive energy having a reaction from what negative energy was doing to it. It just spawned a universe from what the negative energy was doing, to it. So, verse 2, it says, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. Still, verse 2 says, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. The Spirit of God. Which God are we talking about here? Are we talking about the same God? Because as I just talked about and previously, there were two styles of energies that started it all. There was a negative energy that pushed a positive energy to do something. So, the earth was void and without form. How did it become why was it without form? Why is that mentioned there? Why is it without form? You want to know why? Because, let's not forget, according to my theory here, once again, at first, the positive energy was a giant sphere, or a nirvanic size sphere, a nirvanic size circle, or nirvanic size, or bigger than a cosmos size ball. It had shape, round shape, meaning the true God's positive energetic power started off in a round shape that a cloud just came and just desecrated, because that's what evil does. Desecrate what good has, right? Take it however you want it. Moving forward. Verse 2. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. Darkness was upon the face of the deep. You want to know what that darkness was? The same negative energy I was just talking about a moment ago. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. You want to know what that Spirit of God was? The darkness I was just talking about a moment ago. Believe it if you want. I'm just going to put it right in front of your face. Oh yeah, by the way, verse 1 through 5 is talking about the actual devil's birthday. The actual devil of the universe, meaning the mother of harlots, that has our sisters turned into harlot children. Verse 1 through 5 in Genesis, this is his birthday. Her, or its birthday. I'm going to just say its for right now. It's. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, it just says, and God said, verse 3, let there be light. And there was light. Right there in verse 3. For a second, let's stop. In Malachi 3:6, in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 6, it says, I am the Lord your God. I change not. I change not. Never change from what you is right now. A talking talker. Malachi 3:6 says God doesn't change. But listen. No talking. So how did he say, let there be light? You want to know how it happened? Etherical, energetic reactions brought forth the sunlight. When the negative energy clashed with the positive energy, it caused the positive energy to react. Spawn the universe. Now it has a mind that it even utilizes even more to think about certain strategies to make it even better. So, etheric, energetic reactions reverberated the sun and or nucleated the sun and or brought light, big star in the center of the cosmos, into existence, or the center of this universe, this galaxy here that we're in, into existence. And there was light. Verse 4. And God saw the light. Which God are we talking about here? Are we talking about the one creating this star here, or creating this light? Or are we talking about the one swishing around in the waters looking at it? For the record, the darkness is talking about is the remnant of the negative energy I was talking about, the remnant of the fire and lightning energy, the remnant of it. And the positive energy is and the positive energy is the waters itself. A remnant of the positive energy is are the waters. Go back to verse 2. And the earth was without form and void, meaning the positive remnant of the universe, the positive energy remnant. And darkness was upon the face of the deep, meaning the negative energy remnant. One more time. Verse 2. And the earth was without form and void. The positive energy was without form and void. And darkness was upon the face of the deep. The deep meaning the seas. The deep meaning the deep blue seas, the oceans of the world. The seven oceans of the world, the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean, and those oceans right there. Those were all without form, with no kind of planetary infrastructure or, the grass that makes the planet in the middle. I'm gonna get to that in a moment. None of that was on it. None of that was in it. It was just waters. You see, the positive energy remnant were just waters. You follow what I'm saying? And the darkness was all mixed up in and inside of it and trying to eat it away into oblivion. That's what was going on in Genesis 1, verse 1 through 2. But here's the thing, though. There's more to the story. And God said, let there be light. I'm just going to say he said it because it's just right here to say it. Of course, I'm going to show you. I'm going to read to verse 19, and that'll cut the video off there. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. But see, here's the thing. That's verse 3. Moving forward, it says, and God saw the light. Which God are we talking about? Are we talking about the negative energy remnant or the positive energy remnant? Because from what I'm gathering here, the positive energy remnant is doing all the working, and the negative energy remnant is just watching it. But that's just my opinion, though. You can see it however you want. God saw the light. That it was good. This is verse 4. And God divided the light from the darkness. The devil's birth was an etherical, energetic reaction of the sun's rays hitting the dark energy and forming it into a viapany. What is a viapany? The goddess who is spread everywhere. Who is the goddess spread everywhere? Nut. Nut is the generator of every single negative angel you have ever read about in your entire history. The reason why we have the Nephilim gene, the recessive Neanderthal gene, coursing through our veins right now. And once our melanin is reduced, our skin becomes whiter due to that gene. You want to know how you can have albinoid children? It's due to that gene. Because the only kind of child you are supposed to have are fully melanated kids. Some of the specialties you all think we have are not specialties, they're flaws. Let me just say that. Moving forward, verse 4. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. Divided the light from the darkness. Meaning the light shunned upon the evil dark energy, it didn't turn it into anything, nor did it really chase it out of anything. It just reacted. The devil's birth was a reaction to sunlight. The dark energy of the devil, its birth was a reaction to sunlight. Moving forward. And God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. Now it says here that God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. Which God are we talking about here? Because the God that I serve doesn't speak. Is what I'm ultimately saying here. The God that I serve does not speak. He just gives. It's not even a gender. It's just a power. It just gives life and the abilities to live them accurately. The God I serve. Moving forward. I'm going to go ahead and speed through this a little bit faster. And God said, I'm going to start at verse 4 again. And God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters. A firmament. What is a firmament exactly? A firmament, when you look up the word, it just says heaven or the sky. So what, he nucleated the sky in the middle of the still waters? Is that what he did? You want to know what ultimately happened? You can buy this if you want to. Remember, heaven is also the stars and the planets situated together. So when you say firmament, you could also be speaking of heaven and the planets within it all at once. The definition is out there for us to see. It is. So what is the firmament? What is it really then? What is the firmament? What is the firmament? Logically speaking, it's the planet itself without the waters attached to them. It's just the planet itself. You want to know what the planet itself really is? A star. Believe it if you want. But it was nucleated in the middle of the waters and caused them to open up like an eyeball. You want to know what was nucleated in the middle of the waters? Another light. A light was nucleated outside, and then a light was nucleated in the waters. And it caused the planet to open up, or caused the waters to like open up, to make room for it. Kind of like it was pushed in, and it just kind of like bubbled up, you know. Moving forward. This got to make sense to you. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. Verse 6, once again, and 7. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, meaning there was another star, another light put in the middle of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters, meaning it opened it up so it can make room for the planet to go inside. Kind of like it just bubbled it up, or, you know, expanded it out a little bit. Because let's think about it. You're putting a fireball in the middle of water. What is it going to become once it's all merged and mixed in with the waters? Moving forward. This is just what I believe, though. Believe whatever you want. It just makes more sense to me to believe it this way. I'm going to go on and explain why before I run out of time on this phone again. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. Verse 7, what is it talking about? The planet was still, it just in the middle of the waters, surrounded by water still. But there's more. Wait, there's more. Verse 8, and God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. All of this is happening on the same day. These are checkpoints right here. These are not second day, first day. These are checkpoints right here. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. Verse 9 should tell you it all right there. How the planet was all made in one day, not 7. Remember, it only took one moment to nucleate the firmament in the middle of the waters and cause it to surround them. So that means the planet was there right on the spot. Done. Then after that, the waters were gathered together to bring it its shape. Right? It's right in front of us. You can believe whatever you want, though, still. You can still believe the planet is flat if you want to. You can believe whatever you want. So me personally, I'm not about to fall for the distractions anymore. I got one style of story, one method of creation as to how all this is working and playing out, and that's just what I'm going to believe personally. You can believe whatever you like. Hey, moving forward. Verse 9 again, and God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, meaning it was forming back into the shape it was torn out of just a moment ago. Verse 9 again, and God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. and it was so. Meaning once the planet began to come into its theoretical shape again, back to the circle of its foundation that it started off as, the dry land began to appear in the process, meaning the planet that we see here today. Verse 9. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. Now remember though, God is not saying any of this stuff. This dark energy is talking about the positive energy as it's working. It's just saying what the dark energy is just saying what the positive energy is doing, as if it's doing it itself, even though it is doing nothing. The positive energy is doing all of this work, while the negative energy is saying it's doing it. Does that sound familiar to you in any kind of way at all that can coexist with this story? Just let that be for your own thoughts to ponder on if you made it this far in the video. I'm going to finish all 19 verses. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear, and it was so. Now here comes my farmer's revolution inspiration. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the seas called, and the gathering together of the waters he called he seas. And God saw that it was good. God saw that it was good. That should tell you a little bit of hint right there, because it says this multiple times as we go out to this story, and God saw that it was good. Who's the God that's seeing it? Which one? The positive one or the negative one? The positive one doing all the work, or the negative one that's watching it and talking about it like it's doing the work? If this doesn't make sense to you, I don't know what will anymore. Verse 11. Verse 10 was, and God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. Verse 10 one more time, and God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good. That should tell you something. Two seers. And God said, verse 11, let the earth bring forth grass. This is my Farmer's Revolution inspiration now. Verse 11 through 19. Or verse 11 through 14 is my Farmer's Revolution inspiration. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself. Our food comes with more ways to make more food. Farmer's Revolution. Why are we not living by what's natural? Moving forward, brothers and sisters. And the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself, upon the earth. And it was so. Verse 12. And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit whose seed was in itself after his kind. And once again, God saw that it was good. Is there a problem with it being good? Maybe for the dark God it is, huh? Why do you have to mention that you see it being good? Do you not like good? Are you jealous of good or something? In the evening and the morning were the third day, verse 13 says. Verse 14, and God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. More lights. You're going to put more lights in the firmament, and let them, verse 15 says, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. 15 once again, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. Firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. Firmament of the heaven, the sky, because the firmament is the planet, and the heaven is the sky of the firmament, of the planet. Remember, the planet started out as one continent, didn't it? I know there's proof out here saying that. It started out as one continent, so that means it was created to be one continent, or created to be one planet, not split up into 6 continents, 5. The Antarctica don't count. And plus, Asia and Europe are not even separated. They just told you it was. Verse 15, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. Verse 16, and God made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. Two great lights. Verse 16 says, two great lights. No mention of the moon here, huh? How was the moon created? You want to know how the moon was created? Says it right there, the lesser light, because the firmament was already made and the first light was already made. In other words, there were three lights made. There was one big old light, one light to make the planet itself, and then now this lesser light to rule the night. But what happened to the ancient moon then? Oh yeah, ancient moon, just to mention that. Go do some research on the ancient moon to see how the moon lost its original light that's mentioned here in Genesis chapter 1, verse 16. Yeah, the moon used to be light. It used to be a small sun, the moon did. Yeah. Uh-huh. Verse 17 says, and God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. Verse 18, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. Which God is seeing this? Is there a problem with something being good? Why do you have to mention this? Verse 19, in the evening and the morning were the fourth day. In verse 20 and on, it talks about how life was made. I'm going to just decolonize the Bible for a while now. May have you gather something from this right here. May you have. Shalom, shalom, shalom. I don't desire to be your king or your leader. I only desire to do or say things that will defend or protect you. That will defend and or protect you. Love your neighbors, you love yourself. Be lifted in the spirit and walk good forever. Or be great in the spirit and walk good forever. Peace, love, unity, and advancement to you all, my family.